Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today, we are going to dive into one of the most fascinating chapters of the Second World War, the Battle of El Alamein. Specifically, we are going to talk about the man who masterminded the British victory in this crucial battle, General Bernard Montgomery, also known as Monty. Montgomery's bold plan and brilliant execution not only stopped the advance of the legendary German commander, Erwin Rommel, but also marked a turning point in the North African campaign. What makes this topic even more interesting is the fact that Montgomery's victory was not just a result of military strategy and tactics, but also of leadership, morale, and innovation. So, if you want to know how Monty crushed Rommel in the Battle of El Alamein and why it mattered, you have come to the right place. Stick with us until the end and you won't be disappointed. And if you appreciate our efforts to bring you engaging and informative content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and leave your comments below. Montgomery's bold plan. How he crushed Rommel in the Battle of El Alamein. The Battle of El Alamein was a crucial turning point in the North African campaign during World War II. The Allied forces, led by British General Bernard Montgomery, were able to crush the German Afrika Korps, led by the legendary Field Marshal Erwin Rommel. Montgomery's bold plan and strategic brilliance were the key factors that led to the victory. In this article, we will delve deep into Montgomery's plan and explore how he was able to defeat Rommel in one of the most famous battles of the war. Montgomery's plan was based on a number of factors. The first was his ability to accurately assess the situation and understand his strengths and weaknesses. He knew that he had a superior number of troops, but his soldiers were not as experienced as the German Afrika Korps, who had been fighting in North Africa for over a year. Montgomery also knew that he had to launch a surprise attack on the Germans, as they had the advantage of being entrenched in strong defensive positions. To achieve his objectives, Montgomery came up with a three-stage plan. The first stage was to create a diversionary attack on the northern sector of the German line. This would draw the attention of the Germans away from the main attack, which was to be launched in the south. Montgomery wanted to make Rommel think that the main attack would be in the north, so that he would shift his forces in that direction. The second stage of Montgomery's plan was to launch the main attack with the bulk of his forces in the south. This was to be a surprise attack, which would catch the Germans off guard. Montgomery wanted to use the element of surprise to push the Germans back and create a gap in their line. Once this gap was created, the third stage of the plan could be executed. The third stage of Montgomery's plan was to exploit the gap that had been created in the German line. Montgomery knew that the Germans would try to plug the gap as quickly as possible, but he also knew that they would be weakened in other areas. He planned to use his reserves to attack these weakened areas and create chaos in the German ranks. This would prevent the Germans from regrouping and counterattacking. Montgomery's plan was not without its risks. The diversionary attack in the north was a risky move, as it could have failed and given the Germans an advantage. However, Montgomery was confident in his troops and their ability to carry out the plan. He also had a number of contingency plans in place, which could be executed if the plan went awry. On the night of October 23, 1942, Montgomery launched his attack. The diversionary attack in the north was successful in drawing the attention of the Germans away from the main attack in the south. The main attack was launched and caught the Germans completely by surprise. The British were able to push the Germans back and create a gap in their line, just as Montgomery had planned. The third stage of the plan was executed with great success. The British were able to exploit the gap in the German line and attack weakened areas. This created chaos in the German ranks and prevented them from regrouping and counterattacking. The Battle of El Alamein was a decisive victory for the Allied forces. Montgomery's plan had worked perfectly, and the Germans were forced to retreat. The victory at El Alamein was a turning point in the North African campaign and gave the Allies the momentum they needed to push the Germans out of Africa. In conclusion, Montgomery's plan was a bold and strategic masterpiece. His ability to accurately assess the situation and understand his strengths and weaknesses was key to his success. Montgomery's three-stage plan was executed with precision, and the victory at El Alamein was a testament to his brilliance as a military commander.